right. Hello, everyone. This is the lovely Bonnie over here. I am so excited to have her today with me. I really look up to her as a teacher. She's one of the best ones I've seen. You should see her introduction video. It's the best. But in the process of going through and looking through different teachers, Bonnie really stood out to me, and I really became good friends with her. And I'm so excited to introduce her to you guys today as well. So, hello,
Hello.
Bonnie.
It's so nice to be here. I'm always following your stories and your shows, and you've
Yay.
been such an inspiration to me
You've
in
been
my
an
journey.
inspiration to
So.
me. We've inspired each other, so that's wonderful. Thank you so much, Bonnie. All right, Miss Bonnie, so let's get into it. How did you get into online teaching or wanting to go in this direction?
Well, just before the COVID happened, I'd actually gone over to another company. I'd met a guy who wanted to start a training facility. We were selling fiber optics cables,
Okay.
actually. So he wanted me to be the trainer, to train people how to install fiber safely and correctly, and all the different accessories that go with fiber, obviously. So we were going to start this company. So it's very small, obviously, and it was the wrong time to have started it. So that company, obviously, we just crashed and burned. I,
Yeah.
I think it was literally 2 months we were into doing the company. I had just done all these new training brochures, and then COVID happened and
Uh,
our plans just fell through the floor. And then it was hard to find another job because obviously now companies don't want to hire anymore because of this pandemic going on. So I went to a braai with some friends, and one of the ladies had told me about this ESL teaching online. And I was like, it was the first time I'd ever heard of something like this before. So I researched it a bit, and I said, you know what? Actually, it looks really fun. Like, how do you get into it and whatever? And she had sent me a link for a company that I started working with, for the very first time. Um, and I just got into it, and I just did so well. And everything that I had learned, I had actually learned via other teachers, Facebook groups, YouTube, a lot of YouTube.
yeah.
And I also didn't have a TEFL certificate. So,
Oh.
and I also didn't have money to get the TEFL certificate. I couldn't even pay my bills. So, because now I'm
Oh.
retrenched. So,
Yeah.
I actually found a free TEFL certificate online that I managed to get when I first started. And that TEFL certificate got me into 3 companies, believe it or
Yes.
not. Yeah. So it was a free TEFL certificate, and I just did it, and I got it, and I got into these companies, and it was amazing. Now I'm actually doing a TEFL because I realized, like, now I need to learn how to do my own lessons,
Fair enough.
because of the company I'm in now. So
Yeah.
now I have to like go, and I'm busy doing a proper TEFL course now.
Very
So
nice.
yeah, because sort of, I think when I had started, I thought it wouldn't be a permanent thing for me. So getting the free one was just like, it's fine. But then
Yeah.
I realized I actually love this industry, and I wanted to just carry on doing it. So now I'm going to study, and I'm going to get a degree, and I just want to stay in this industry forever.
I know I feel the same. I'm doing exactly the same thing. So that's awesome. Very good. I know though for you, you're always doing research. Like you send me links to stuff sometimes, you send me YouTube videos to different things. So I know that you're constantly like researching stuff, looking for opportunities. So I can understand why you found a free TEFL thingy too, which is cool. I'm really happy that it allowed you to get into the industry too. And like with 3 companies, that's awesome. It's because
Yes,
you're so good.
yes, it's amazing. It's what
That's
I was saying, you just as long as you know your English language, and you're a fun teacher, you know, you the possibilities are endless.
It's true. It's so true. And Bonnie, how do you feel now that you've been a teacher for a while? How do you feel about this whole job, about our job?
I absolutely love it. I am so grateful. I think that, when I was in school, I actually wanted to be a teacher, which is
Ah.
really weird. And I obviously, because my parents were poor, we could never do studies or anything like that. So I actually just went straight into working. I've been working in the corporate field for many, 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 many years. And it's kind of like God put me on a path to get me where I am today. It's what it feels like,
That's
actually,
awesome. I'm so
to get me
happy.
to do what He knew I was going to love to do eventually.
Yes, Bonnie, I love
Yeah.
it. That's amazing. Thank you so much. Very, very cool. And Bonnie, what do you think you've gained from this experience?
Oh, so much, so much. I can't tell you. I've just I've gained so much confidence in myself. You know, I've gained so many students that I absolutely love. I feel like they should be my students. Feel like they should be my kids. Sorry. And it just brings me so much happiness. So much more than what I had. I used to wake up in the morning and I was like, oh, I have to go to work today. That feeling of dread. You have to like literally drag yourself out of bed
Yeah.
just to do something. And now it's just, so if it's brought me anything, it's brought me a lot of happiness, I think.
That's amazing. I was literally just talking to someone about that yesterday, I think, and we were talking about mental health aspects and like how this job really, really, really just changes your life in terms of happiness. It's such an amazing job and opportunity, I think, that we can be a part of.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
And earlier, Bonnie, I was asking you a little bit about like what do you think is important for people to know in this industry? What are some recommendations that you might have, or some challenges and ways to overcome them?
Well, for me, I personally feel like I've seen a lot of teachers struggling. Like they get into the company, they have good pronunciation, they speak very well, and that sort of thing. But they I think they try to act too strict, like a teacher. And unfortunately, that doesn't work in this industry, especially when you're teaching children. If they want to go teach adults, that would be a good type of personality to bring in. But when you're teaching children, is what I always try to tell other teachers, is that you need to get down to their level. You need to do things that are going to make them laugh, whether it's smell your own feet or just do these funny things. I often sit there and I just laugh at the things that I do with these children. It's so crazy. And I think that's, you need to let go and have fun and just be a child again, and you will do so well. Children don't care about how you look. They don't care if you are a supermodel or if you are Brad Pitt. They don't care. You need to bring that something extra.
Yeah,
You need to be a child yourself, basically. You need to. Yeah.
it's
With
true.
adults, I don't actually know because I don't really teach adults. But for
Oh,
children, I think that's
I think so too.
you have this cute thing about you that just draws children in. You've got to be like that.
I always just laugh at them and talk to their toys that they bring to class and weird, funny things. What kind of things do you do with your children?
Oh, I am so often it always happens that children for some reason will have their feet up on the table or somehow get their foot up. I promise you, you'll see it now after I've mentioned it. You'll see it. And what you need to do is you need to be like, oh no, so smelly, so smelly. They love it. They love it. And also, it's something you told me is to eat your
Oh,
fruit top. Yeah, they do love that. It's so weird.
so weird. Sometimes you
I
can
always
pretend to
think
give
of
it to
you when I
them.
do that. I do, and then I'm like, open your mouth, and they love it. They love it. They eat it with me.
Sometimes
And
I'll have like students eating actual food and they'll try to give me the food through the camera.
yeah,
It's so cute. They're so cute. I'm sorry I
yeah.
cut you off there. What did you want to say?
Oh no, and then I was just about to show you, like I try to do props that are a little bit more funny than, so I'll have like these huge eyes, or I will have a huge nose with some
Oh,
boogers.
I love those. That's so
you know,
cool.
yeah,
I'll
so I
have to.
always try to
Oh,
make it
sorry.
fun. Make it
That's
fun.
awesome. I'll have to message you a little later and get look at where you got your props from because those are really really cool. I think they'll be more effective than the little eyes little
Yeah, they
thing that
are. They
I
are.
have.
And I also have this huge ice cream as well. I don't have it with me now, but if I pretend to eat that ice cream, that's a huge. It's so
That's
great.
amazing. I love it, Bonnie. Oh, thanks so much for sharing that with us. That's so cute. And what are some challenges that you have faced, Miss Bonnie? I know you have faced some of them.
Oh, so many. You know, when I first started my very first interview at the very first company, I was load shedded and I didn't have backup. So I was hotspotting off my phone and the internet, it was just terrible. It was so awful. I should not have got that job. I don't know how I got that job.
Well, good for
So
you.
yeah, that was like, so that was my actual very first experience. My very first interview was load shedding. So I knew obviously what these teachers have been saying all over is very true, that I needed to get back up. So I have a generator. Like over time I've bought something. So I have a generator and I have UPS to kick in and just save me an hour or two to get the generator running.
All
The
right.
challenges we have. But then, when was it? It was last week. Oh, Lula, it was so bad. I obviously all my backups are through they're all with Telkom. My
Oh.
husband's cell phone is with Telkom. Mine is with Telkom. Our uh, internet cables, our Wi-Fi is through Telkom, and I don't know what happened. Telkom just didn't work. So I lost 2 classes in the morning. Luckily, now I'm working for myself, so I could give my clients free classes to apologize and so forth. But now I've realized that I actually need more backup for my backup.
Backup for your backup. We'll talk about it later. There's some really cool options that you can use, but I'll tell you
Yeah.
about it later. I don't know if I should be like name dropping options here on this on this thing, but there's some cool ones. I'll talk to you about it later. But that's
Oh yeah, thanks. Yeah.
you're welcome. Those are real challenges. Like unless you actually go through it, you don't realize like, oh, I need a backup, I need a generator, I need all these things for teaching.
Yeah. And then you just think that you've gotten enough, and then something will show you, no, you need more. You need
Yeah,
more.
it's true. One time, both my internet providers were down, and I was just like, I didn't know what to do at all. I was in the middle of a class too, so I couldn't even like cancel the class or something. It was so terrible. That was probably the worst.
And it's so stressful. It's so stressful. It's the worst feeling in the world
It
when that
is.
happens.
It is. It's very bad.
And
Well,
for me, it when it happened, it was 4 o'clock in the morning. So I couldn't do anything. Like, what am I going to do? Like,
yeah.
run to the cafe and get a SIM card? No, like, there was nothing. Nothing. And I couldn't even message my students to tell them,
Oh,
which was the worst. That was the worst for me.
oh,
Yeah.
shame.
But
Sorry.
so now I have MTN SIM card as well. I should probably get Rain, MTN,
Yeah, get all
every
of them.
single one.
uh, yeah, just find out which
uh,
one's the best in your area, I think. But it's good that you have a backup now.
Yeah.
Same. I'm sorry you had to go through that. That's not very fun.
Oh, it's not. It's not. Ugh, but I think every one of us South Africans have had this happen. It's just
Yeah.
terrible.
Oh, Miss Bonnie, thank you, Bonnie. And Bonnie, if you had to give someone like one piece of advice, someone coming that's brand new, they want to get into this industry, what would you tell them?
I would say if it is somebody that didn't have a degree, there's a lot of negative feedback about how you can't make it without a degree, and firsthand, I was about to give up as well, not having one in the beginning, because everybody is giving that sort of advice, and all the nice companies seem to need to have a degree, but it's not the case actually. there
Yeah.
are there are ways that you can get into good companies that pay you well. You just gotta look for them, ask around.
Yeah.
You can do it, and from day one, make great profile video.
Yeah,
and just YouTube. There's so many examples. Like, just
I
do it.
really did.
Day
I
one.
really, really did love yours like so much. When I was going through everybody's intro videos in the beginning, I promise you, yours is still one of my favorites that I've like ever come across. I love it so much. So that's a really good piece of advice. And I think it's true, especially for companies that look at intro videos. If you have a good intro video, even if you don't have a degree, like you still have that chance because they can see your personality and who you are and your creativity and your effort and all that kind of stuff. So that's really
Yes,
important. Yeah.
definitely. Definitely.
Oh, thanks so much, Bonnie. It was really, really nice to talk to you today and see you again. And I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you for
Oh, thank
like
you.
continuing, and now you're working for yourself and you're doing so well. Doing so
Yeah,
well.
I'm loving it. I'm loving it.
That's amazing. I'm so happy to hear. I'm very happy you didn't give up. So that's really good. And
Yeah.
yeah, it was so nice to speak to you. Thank you for your time today.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I'll speak to you soon. I'll talk to you about some those other things now.
Yes, please, please.
Okay, thanks so much, Bonnie. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.